Hi Year 10, Mr. Tapley here to walk you through your next lesson of Year 10 Geography. This lesson we are looking at forest environments. So we started off our first week of environmental geography by unsurprisingly looking at environments. And we don't have enough time to look at all the types of environments in the world in great detail, so we're focusing in on forests as our case study, our example of an environment. And we're looking at the type of forests around the world, the location of forests around the world, so where are they? And our success criteria is to be able to define them. So what are these different types of forests? Identify them and differentiate between them. So what makes them similar? What makes them different? So what is a forest? Real basic. We're going to start off with a forest refers to area of land dominated by trees. I know that's VC level stuff, but basically it's trees equal forest. Simple. These environments support a variety of animals and plants that provide invaluable, so very important, ecological services. Ecological services being things that the environment does for us, basically. So the environment provides us with wood. So we use that wood to make tools, furniture, etc. We use the environment for oxygen. We need trees to make oxygen. We need trees to get rid of CO2, carbon dioxide. And yeah, the main types of forests can be classified. You've got three. On the left here, I've got a nice tropical forest. In the middle, we have a temperate forest. And on the right, we have a coniferous or a boreal forest. Same thing, it's just different names. So you've got your nice hot ones over here, hot and wet, temperate in the middle, and then coniferous or boreal, cold. These forests differ in terms of their climate, the rainfall, the location, and the wildlife. So obviously an animal living in this boreal forest is going to look different, it's going to act different than something living in a rainforest. You can't just put a polar bear in a tropical forest and expect it to be all okay. So a tropical forest has high levels of rain and it has a very hot climate. So you think Amazon rainforest when you think tropical forest. It has a huge range of biodiversity in plant and animal life. Most of the different animal species and plant species in the world are found in tropical forests. And the reason for that is because it's got rain and it's got sunlight. So the two things you need in life to survive are basically water and light. You need water and light to grow. People, animal, plants, you need it. And tropical forests have that more than anywhere else in the world. They've got closed canopy trees. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but basically they're very, very tall trees and they have big leaves, which means that they can absorb light, which means that more trees will grow betterer in the rainforest. Prevent sunlight from reaching the ground. They are found near the equator. So you can see here on my map of the world, found in the middle, found near the equator of the world. So you've got over here the rainforest in Brazil, in South America. You've got some stuff happening in Papua New Guinea, and over here in Africa. Temperate forests. Temperate forests are found in moderate climates, so not too hot, not too cold, between the tropics and the boreal, the very cold regions, in the northern and southern hemisphere. So if we go back to our map there, you can see some of those temperate forests in Europe. You've got some in America, and some in Victoria, some in Australia. And there's a variety of different temperate forests. We're not going to go into too much detail, but some of those are deciduous, coniferous, mixed, and rainforests. You can actually have a temperate rainforest, which we have in Victoria, and which if we were at school, you guys would go on an excursion to one. But anyway, temperate forests are, if you look at this picture, also known as four seasons forest. And the reason for that is a tropical forest looks the same January to December. Every season it looks the same. Coniferous or boreal, every season looks the same. Temperate forests are the only forests in the world where you see four seasons. So this has clearly been taken in autumn or fall because the leaves are changing color. In winter, those leaves will fall off. In spring and summer, leaves will go back on, shiny and green. But everywhere else in the world, forests will stay the same. That's what makes temperate forests different. And then finally, you have coniferous and boreal forests. So very, very cold. You get snow. World's largest biome, you can see on the map. There's lots of this dark colored green here in Asia, in Russia, and in North America and Canada. And the wildlife in coniferous and boreal forests is very, very tough because it has to adapt to harsh conditions. Not as much rain, very extremely low temperatures. So you're getting very sturdy, very strong animals in these types of forests. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. I've included this slide from last semester, but I'm not actually going to spend much time talking about it. This is just a bit of information about the structure of a forest. So instead of saying forests have trees, to be a bit more detailed, you can talk about the different levels, different layers in a forest. So it's got different levels. I'm not going to talk too much about it because we don't actually cover it in the CAT, but I thought it important to include it for those of you that want a bit more information about what a forest looks like. And I wanted to flex and show off my Shrek GIF there. Anyway, what I will talk about though is deforestation, so human impact. So we know where forests are, what they are. Unfortunately, we're doing our best as humanity to get rid of forests. Around the world, forests are being cleared, they're being degraded, they're being fragmented by human activities. Deforestation for agriculture or farming, construction, manufacturing has devastated forest environments around the world. The loss of forest environments has global consequences. Deforestation is the main cause of biodiversity loss. It's not climate change, it's not pollution, it's deforestation. And this negatively impacts the air, which is important because we breathe it, need it to live. It negatively impacts the soil, the ground that you're standing on, which most of y'all will be like, I don't care about farmers. You need the soil to be good to get food. You need food to live. So if the soil quality is bad, you're not getting any food, bad things will happen. Deforestation also contributes to climate change. We'll go into this more when we actually talk about climate change later on, but trees absorb CO2, which is bad for the climate, and it produces oxygen. So if we get rid of those trees, all of a sudden all that extra CO2 that's just chilling around is now going to go up into the atmosphere, climate change. And it also increases vulnerability to extreme weather, like flooding. So if you look at this little picture on the right there, that's not been photoshopped, that's an actual photo of a forest that's been deforested. Let's say we get some heavy, crazy, like hurricane level amount of rain in this location. On the right there, all the rain is going to be absorbed by those trees. This is the side of a mountain, so the rain's just going to fall down the mountain. All the trees, their roots, their leaves, going to absorb the water. We're all good. On the left here though, if it starts to rain, that water's just going to go down the mountain, down the hill, nothing's stopping it, and it's going to hit the village or the city at the bottom of the hill. And then the same will happen in other natural disaster type phenomenons. So basically, no trees means that we're going to have more extreme weather, more intense weather, causing us problems. That's why you're seeing a lot of flooding in China recently. You saw flooding in Australia at the start of the year. It's because they've cut down all the trees. They've lost their natural protection to natural disasters. And the worst part about deforestation is that not only is it impacting our present, it's going to impact our future. So we need to deal with it now so that we're not dogged over in the future. So that's a bit of information about forest environments. Now we've got some really straightforward, really simple questions. 7 questions, VC level stuff. It's almost double-digit questions. And I'll walk you through these, and of course you're going to be completing them in your digital notebook. Question 1. Identify the type of forest found in, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 locations around the world. You might need a map for this one. And you just need to tell me what is the main type of forest you find in Australia. So you type 1A, Australia, brah, one of those 3. There we go. 1B, USA, Brazil, China, etc., etc. So that one's really straightforward. Question 2 is asking you to look at these little graphs at the bottom of the slide. So question 2 asks you to identify the forest type with the smallest change in temperature throughout the year. Looking at this graph at the bottom there, the blue shows you how much rainfall is occurring throughout the year. The red is showing the temperature. So you've got a red line for temperature. You've got on the bottom there the different months, so J for January, February, March, etc. And it shows you how temperatures change throughout the year. So in a tropical forest, you see that red line, not much change occurring. In a temperate forest, you're seeing it gets a bit hotter in the middle of the year, around June, May, July, then it kind of cools down a bit. Northern forest, same thing. That's a, what do you call it? Boreal or coniferous forest, I should say. Cold, snow, think coniferous. So you're looking for question 2, smallest change in temperature throughout the year. You're just writing down the name of one of those 3 forests. Question 3, this one's asking you to look at the blue, the rainfall. Identify the forest type with the largest range in rainfall levels year round. So the biggest up and down, basically. So you're looking for that blue again. On the right here, it shows you how many mils it's getting of rain per month, the mean monthly average. On the left, you're going up and down for temperature in Celsius. So you're looking for the blue, you're looking for that biggest range of rainfall year round. Question 4, what forest type could adapt to changes in temperature and rainfall caused by climate change? So this one asks you to do a bit more thinking than just reading a graph. Climate change is going to cause the temperature and the rainfall to change dramatically. So looking at these 3 forests, if I said which one is going to cope the best with change, what's your answer? So you're probably looking for one that has the ability to live in high rain and low rain, and high temperature and low temperature. So I'm not asking for an essay there. Just again, you're just naming one of those 3 forests. If you'd like, you can include 1 or 2 sentences explaining why. Not an essay question though. Question 5, last page, last slide. Question 5, what region shows the greatest forest loss from 1990 to 2010? So we're using this little table over here. You've got regions of the world, so Africa, Asia, Europe, etc., etc., etc. And then you've got the total forest cover. So that's how many hectares, of land are being covered by forest. Hectares is just a measurement for the amount of land. So in 1990, Africa had 749 million hectares, but then in 2000, they had 40 million less. So as that number goes down, you've got less forest. So I'm looking for the region that shows the greatest forest loss from 1990 to 2010. So going from big number to small number. Question 6, what region shows the greatest increase? So some of these numbers have actually increased. So Europe used to have 989 million hectares of forest, not bad, but they've actually gone up over time, which is impressive. So which region shows the greatest increase in forest cover? Question 7, what could have caused that? What could have caused forest coverage to increase and decrease in these regions? That's all we've got for this lesson, guys. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. Just completing these in your digital notebook. And yeah, best of luck, guys. Cheers.